Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the Tinder Swindler. Kudos to whoever came up with that. And this is from director Felicity Morris, and this is a new Netflix true crime documentary about a group of 3 women who all had tons and tons of money swindled from them by this man that they met on Tinder who portrayed himself as this big diamond mogul. And you have the wonders of Tinder and dating apps in general, and this film dives into that like online dating culture and the potential. There's plenty of potential for this just unseedy and predatory nature, because it's like, how much do you know is actually true of these people on the other end of these dating apps and stuff like that? And like, this is dealing with some big money. Like, this is millions of dollars of swindling. So like, no wonder they made a Netflix documentary about this. This is like crazy, insane kinds of catfishing going on here. And you have Simon Leviev, who is going around trying to convince people that he is not the Tinder swindler and stuff like that. This documentary obviously is coming from one very specific perspective. He refused to be in the film. He messaged I'm gonna sue you for this is slander and I didn't do these things, and he's trying to fight it, obviously. So I think for the sake of the rest of this conversation, it's just assuming that these women were swindled by somebody who they perceived as somebody who is this big diamond mogul and stuff like that. And that's the thing. There's a lot of twists and turns in this in terms of the mystery and the conspiracy of what's real and how they were conned through all of this. And, on some level, this is one of those kind of sleazy Netflix true crime documentaries. But it does it in a pretty respectful way, especially to the victims of this crime. And you get to hear from all 3 of these women in depth, and you feel their emotion, you feel their journey. It's very raw. It's them to the camera, to us as the audience through the camera, to understand the traumatic experiences that they had throughout this whole entire situation. And there's plenty of conspiracy and craziness going on here. There's tons of emotion, because obviously this is a very impactful experience that's going to sit with these women for a long time. It is a little overlong. I felt like this film clocks in at almost 2 hours, and I feel like it could have got to the point a little bit quicker in terms of certain things, and it does get a little repetitive in terms of this is 3 similar stories piled on top of each other. But I think it is important that each of these women got a chance to tell their story, even if it does get a little repetitive from a narrative standpoint when you're sitting and watching a film. But I do feel like, in general, this is a really well-made documentary. It's a very intriguing documentary, and it's eye-opening and crazy and makes you think, just think about who's on the other end of that Tinder page and being careful. And I think this is an important kind of documentary for a lot of people to watch in this era of online dating, and being cautious and making sure that they're not getting swindled too, especially through Tinder. Obviously, this is something you should worry about on all dating apps, but I guess you'd have to spend some time trying to come up with as good a rhyming as Tinder Swindler. I guess in the comments, if you could think of other things because you have Bumble and OkCupid, Coffee Meets Bagel, Hinge, Plenty of Fish, all those lovely things, and you could fall into those traps on any of them. But unfortunately for these women, it's just they're out millions of dollars. And my fiance also made a comment, because she really wanted to watch it. She's big on true crime. She's like, and Netflix didn't help them pay their debts? And I'm like, Netflix has the money. You should do that. If you haven't Netflix, this is my little thing to you at the end of this. Help those women out. I know you help to get their stories out, but come on. Don't let them just languish in debt. But anyway, that's a side note. But those are my thoughts on the Tinder Swindler. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.